A big hello and how the HE double hockey sticks are ya? My name is Jared and welcome to the Jared Show Knowledge Podcast. This is a fun episode today, all about go gadgets. Let's call it tech so everyone's on the same website page here. We are getting all teched out in this one and I like it. I like it a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
The Jared Show.
want to change the world.
Speaking of being on the same website page, have you checked out TheJarredShow.com? It is amazeballs. Both podcasts in one place, plus cool gear and more coming out very soon. So go gadget, check it out. Let me know what you think. And let's check some tech with this list of my favorite tech gear. Some things that I own and actually have personal experience with, and some things that are on my dream list, if you will. Things I have seen and I'd like to get to know a little bit better, if you know what I mean. Hold on. Spoiler alert, no sex dolls. That's just weird, gross, and wow. What did you think I meant? Get your mind out of the gutter, will you? Come on. What we're talking about here is more like cool, wearable technology, fun, fast, dangerous transportation, and exciting, innovative gadgets that make life easier. We'll start the countdown when we get back. Hey man, this is Eamon. I got to tell you about this cool card, the Jared. I be listening to his shows, man, and he got me to thinking. And by the end I was feeling irie. Yeah man, me be feeling irie. Big up brother, me have inner love for your show. And welcome back. So let's get into some crazy tech. The first and this first one is really crazy. Number 10 would be quantum computers. Do you know anything about quantum computers? I tell you what, let's skip what they are for now and let's look at what they can supposedly do. That's the crazy part. And if you don't know anything about quantum mechanics or quantum entanglement or superposition, I'd like to do a whole episode on that at some point. Maybe not right now, but you don't really necessarily have to know about that to understand quantum computers. I'm gonna make it real basic, real simple for you. So let's see what a quantum computer can do. So let's say, for instance, you want to find a specific word on a specific page in a book that is 360 pages long. Okay? So let's say that word is day, D-A-Y. The word D-A-Y appears on page 184, in the middle of the page, paragraph 2, and sentence 2. Alright? Now an ordinary computer, what it's going to do is it would scan through every word on every page for 183 pages till it got to the word that you wanted to find. Alright? What's interesting about it, what supposedly, and I'm not sure if I necessarily believe this yet, but supposedly what a quantum computer can do is to be able to use a combination of superposition and quantum entanglement to search all of the pages and all of the words at once. Alright? Which is interesting. And basically what they're talking about is binary. So if you've ever watched The Matrix or you know anything about binary codes, ones and zeros, what they're saying is when you go, so let's say the word day is represented with 100, okay? So the way that that's represented, it goes through all these different binary numbers in order to get to 100, 100, right? So in order to find that one combination in all of those combinations, all of those different numbers, right? It goes through all these different numbers to find that one combination. What we're talking about with quantum computers is it looks at every combination of ones and zeros all at the same time to find it that quick. Amazing. It's amazing. And like I said, we're not going to get into quantum theory, string theory, quarks, and all that stuff right now. I'm really not so sure as I believe that this actually works, but it is interesting, and I had to put it on number 10 because of the implications of what it can mean going forward. And that sounds like a whole nother show in and of itself. But anyway, speaking of moving forward, let's see what we got for number 9. Number 9 is actually the camera I'm using right now that you can see if you watch this on YouTube. Hola, hello, my hands are moving. That was the hello, that's the sign for when your hands are moving and you're listening to it on a podcast. Yeah, this camera is amazing. This is a Canon M50, and it has been a game changer for me. It has better picture. I generally do things at about 720 just because it's easier to load, easier to export, that kind of thing. I'd like to do things at 1080. This camera is capable of doing 4K, which is 4,000 lines of image, I guess, or pixels. Yeah, it's an amazing camera. I can't really use it to its fullest potential. I'd like to do about 1080, but I can't because it takes so long to load. But it's just a better picture. Not only is it a better picture, it has autofocus. It's awesome. So if I go over here, right, I stay in focus. There's a little square on my face, and it keeps me in focus. It's awesome. It's amazing. It has Wi-Fi and all these different things. The biggest thing for me, and that's what I'm looking at right now, is it has a side-folding LED display. And along with the autofocus, along with all the bells and whistles, the Wi-Fi, and just all the things that it does, touchscreen and all these kind of things, it's a game changer. I mean, getting a really amazing camera like this has been just so much fun, and there's so many things I want to do with it. So definitely deserves to be number 9 for me. If you don't have a camera like that, maybe you're using your iPhone or whatever, go get you a decent camera, man. Like, what up, though? I mean, the things that you can do with this little tiny camera, and it's mirrorless. That's the other thing. So it's a lot lighter than the one I had. I had a Nikon D5000, which has a mirror in it, basically. I won't get into all camera gear and all that stuff. I do get techie, so I could go all in. This is a mirror and it flips back and forth and but. Suffice it to say that a mirrorless camera, which is what this is, a lot lighter, a lot faster, amazing. And it has really changed a lot. And I can't wait to do some really amazing things with this camera coming up soon in the next couple of months. So, yes, game changer, definitely number 9 for me. Number 8 is another game changer, actually. For me, anyway, especially when I was on the road and doing the missionary thing and going all over the country. Yeah, it has been amazing. I have it's a iPhone case that doubles as a charger. So yes, it makes your iPhone a lot bulkier, but basically it has 4 complete full phone charges built into the case itself. So you just hit a button and it charges your phone. And it sounds pretty interesting. And it has, it sounds easy and it sounds, okay, yeah, big deal, right? But I'm telling you right now, when I was on the road, I was always worrying about charging my phone. That's really before I upgraded my self-built camper van with solar. So I put 2 solar panels on there. Before I did that, I was always looking for a place to charge my phone. I was always doing so much on my phone. That was a big time game changer. And it still is. I use it every single day. The one I have right now is on the Fritz. I've had it for, I think, 2 years or so, or a year and a half, something like that. And it goes in and out. It's a little bit old. I might have to get another one. But it's great. Right now, even like when you're doing FaceTime calls, right? And FaceTime, what I'm talking about, when you FaceTime somebody for longer than, let's say, 5 minutes and it just drains your battery. that's what you need. You get one of those little deals, put it on your phone. You can talk for as long as a long time, even on FaceTime. Also taking photos or having safety, always having a charged phone wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Game changer. Amazing. Let me get into the number 7. And right before we go to break here, number 7 is a mini projector. And this is going to be awesome. So this is the first one that I actually don't have. So I don't have this. You can get them pretty cheap, too. I think they're like $40-$50 for a decent one. This is something that I have not tried, but I'd absolutely like to. Basically, what I want to use it for is so that when I do drawings, I can sketch onto like a big canvas. You can get them. So when you get a mini projector, they're about yay big. They're probably double the size of a phone, let's say, right? They're really small. I mean, they're probably 4 inches wide by 4 inches wide, like square, and then like 2 inches wide, thickness. And what they can do is amazing. You can go from a regular screen, let's say, 24 inches or whatever, 20 inches, all the way up to like 80 inches or 100 inches. Yeah, they're really cool. And what I want to do is I want to take that and be able to project a picture onto a canvas in the size that I have, and be able to sketch on that canvas the picture, and then I can go back and paint it, and I think it's gonna be fun. That's gonna be cool. But you can use it for all kinds of stuff. You can use it for glamping or camping, basically. You can use it for work if you're doing like presentations. You can use it just as a big screen TV. You can get up to 80 inches. So you can get an 80-inch screen TV for like $50, right? As long as you get an empty wall. Pretty awesome. I mean, you can have like a home theater for like $50. And they do all kinds of stuff. Go check them out. I do have links in the description and all that stuff. I'll tell you about that in a little while. But yeah, I mean, come on, man. How can you not, right? When we get back, we're going to get a little bit musical. Should be fun. And I can't wait to tell you what's on 1 through 4 of this list. They are fun, especially number 1, which I actually have and use quite often. And we'll be back with a musical number 6 right after this. Yeehaw, y'all. This here Sweet Tea Tucker. What in tarnation are you folks doing out there? You mean you ain't heard about them sweet t-shirts? Well, shoot, let me be the first to tell you about it. You see, this guy's got himself a bona fide website, and on that there fancy-like website, he's got what them kids call merch. Now, don't you worry your pretty little head about it. Sweet Tea's gonna explain. Merch simply means daggone cool stuff you can wear like them there t-shirts. So go check it out, that old fancy website, TheJarredShow.com. Get you one. You gonna like it. It's a sweet tea guarantee. Ladies and gentlemen, he didn't mean that. Sweet tea, you can't guarantee anything. Why the heck not? Because you're a fictional character and you don't exist? Who you calling imaginary, Mr. Big Shot? You think just 'cause you got a fancy website, you're all that, huh? Well, I got news for you, mister. I don't think I'm a big shot. I'm just a guy trying to help people. Oh, well, you think this is... And welcome back to the Jared Show Knowledge Podcast. And we're just going to jump straight back into it. We got number 6 for our go-go gadgets is going to be a Boss loop station. And I got to admit, now I actually have 2. Use them in tandem and sync with each other for different reasons I won't go into. But I've had a loop station for a long time. And this was actually a game changer, having a loop station. I'll explain it exactly what it is. But having a loop station actually was a game changer I didn't really know about. And I had one for a long time, I just never used it. And basically what a loop station is you plug in your guitar, you plug the guitar into the loop station into an amplifier, so you can hear what it is that you're doing and all that. and you can record what you're doing on your guitar straight into the loop station. The loop station will record what you're doing. So you hit the button once, it will record what you're doing, and then you hit the button again and it'll play it back to you, and you can play over top of it. And you can have all kinds of different layers if you want to. But what's interesting about the loop station is that's fun and everything. You can learn a lot from that and learn a lot of different things, but it's also like having a full band. I mean, you can have bass, you can have drums, you can have guitar. You can add tracks that you've downloaded so that you can play along with them, like backing tracks, that kind of thing. You can play your own backing tracks so that you can play along with yourself, right? You can actually add lessons onto there so that you can learn faster, so you can play along with somebody else as they're playing the song. And it really truly is a game changer. It's a whole different realm, and I had it for so long I just didn't use it, and the more I got into using it, the more it took my guitar playing and everything that I do to a whole nother level. So if you're into music at all, you play guitar or bass or anything, maybe drums, I'm not sure, but if you do any of those things, get you a loop station. It's amazing. You can get one pretty cheap nowadays. I think you can get one for like $100, something like that. I had to get another one. Like I said, I won't get into all that stuff. I got another one, the same type of thing. It's just now it actually, basically the reason I got another one is so that it could communicate to my computer a lot easier. The one I had didn't communicate, and it was like 10 years old or something like that. They've been around for a long time, so go check them out. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth $100 easily. Number 5. Let's jump into number 5. Number 5 is drones. Okay, and that is obvious, right? But it's not all that obvious, right? Because it wasn't that obvious to me. And finally, I got into the whole drone bandwagon deal. I always thought of drones as like a quadcopter, kind of just like a helicopter that you fly around, whatever, But the more I've gotten into cinematography and actually trying to create things with film and these kind of things, amazing. Drones are amazing. Now, here's the thing. I've had a few cheap drones. Actually, I've had a bunch of cheap drones. I'd see something on Amazon for like $40-$50 and grab it and be like, oh man, I got a drone, But you got to really do some homework when you go to get a drone, because you can get something really cheap and it's made really cheaply and it flies really cheaply and you have a really cheap camera. And so really what you're getting, you kind of get what you pay for when it comes to drones. That's for sure. If you're going to be up there and start getting the big boys, you're going to be spending, at least $500, probably all the way up to really a decent drone, I think, is the Mavic. That's going to cost you around at least probably $700-$800. And that's really where you kind of want to start. But they are definitely worth it. I'm here to tell you, buying all these little cheap $70 ones, they're fun to fly, but if that's what you want to do, go get a helicopter. Go fly a helicopter. Way more fun that way. Attach your little camera to it. You'll get more out of it that way. If you want a drone, like I said, a drone can be a game changer when you're trying to do, like, create movies or better videos. What's interesting about even if you get kind of a cheaper drone, although they don't fly as well, especially when you get up over some trees and you get a lot of wind. I had that experience and lost a couple drones that way. But if you get some better ones, they're really cool for scoping out scenes. So let's say you go camping or you want to find a cool spot on the beach, but you don't want to walk all the way down the beach, and trudge through a bunch of people and all this stuff to figure out what spot you want to be in, right? You just send that little drone up, it goes all the way down the beach, and you can see kind of where you want to be already, right? Or say a parking space. Oh man, I need to find a parking space. Send the drone up, go find you a parking space. Here's a tip. I'm going to tell you a little trick. Use your drone, right, to save your place. By telling that drone to hover in that spot. You want to save a parking space, the best way to do it, put a drone there, right? Because people are going to think like, oh no, the police are after me or something, right? They ain't going to park in your space. Not only that, but you want to save a space on the beach, hover your drone right there. People ain't gonna run into a drone. Them things go fast, right? Them little helicopter blades go quick. They ain't trying to mess with the drone. Trust me. It's also a cool way to check out the neighborhood. Hey man, send the drone up, see what your neighbors got going on in the backyard. You know what I mean? Drones are, they're actually getting crazier. I mean, they're getting to where you can actually, they're delivering things. Amazon's gonna start using them, delivering pizzas and all kinds of stuff. I mean, who knows what they'll be able to do pretty soon. I think it'd be interesting. Here's number 4, and number 4 I'm excited about. I'm gonna tell you right now because I would love to have one. I don't see it happening anytime soon. If anybody out there has one and you want to let me borrow it or let me ride one, I'm with it. Let's do this. Number 4, the electric surfboard, right? Now, I'm not talking about the electric slide. I'm talking about the electric surfboard. What? Are you kidding me? Come on. Shut the front door. I want one of these so bad, and they look so fun. You can see it. If you're watching the video, you can see it behind me. They look so much fun. I mean, seriously. It's like, how much fun can you have in the water? Electric surfboard would be one of the best things. That would be it, right? Yeah. The thing is, for me though, is I'm a long ways off from getting an electric surfboard. You want to talk about cost? Just to get in the game an electric surfboard, you're looking at like $10,000 easy. You can try to make your own. I would definitely not recommend it. And here's the thing, man. If I'm gonna spend $10,000 on something, I'm probably gonna get a cool jet ski and not an electric surfboard. Just because a cool jet ski, I can go more different places and do different things and all these kind of things. Yeah, I'm gonna say like I said, getting an electric surfboard probably gonna be out of my realm of possibility for quite some time. But I would love to ride one. And yeah, anybody out there's got one, let me know. So yeah, so that's number 4, electric surfboard. Definitely cool. I'm not sure if I'll be able to actually do that anytime soon. But after this last break, we'll roll on into top 3. And yeah, it is well worth it. What's cool in an electric surfboard? Stick around and find out. Hey there, just a quick message to say thank you for listening. And to tell you about the other podcast that I do called The Jared Show Wisdom Podcast. It airs every Monday and Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. On this show we have fun, but if you'd like to get deeper into life and how things work, check out The Jared Show Wisdom Podcast. There's a link in the description. And welcome back to The Jared Show Knowledge Podcast. We're going over my Go-Go Gadgets top 10 list. We've reached the final 3. It's the No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I hope I don't do it. Yeah, so we're at the number 3 here. The trifecta. Number 3, the electric bike. Gotta be done. Got to be done. Electric bike. Are you kidding me? Have you seen the electric bikes? I'm saying we're going all electric, obviously. We're up to the electric bike now. Amazing. The electric bike is amazeballs. Here's the thing. Again, if you want to get in the game in electronics, some of these electronics, you're going to be spending some coin, that's for sure. But when it comes to the electric bike, and it's not as bad as the electric surfboard, but you're still, just to get in the game, you're still looking at, let's say you're in the drone setting. So if you want a really decent one, you're probably looking at about $700-800. But at the same time, I think it's actually well worth it. If I had $800-900 or $1,000 to spend, I would definitely be getting an electric bike. I don't have one. What I did instead, okay, so I didn't have that much money. What I did instead is I made my own, okay, and by that I mean I shouldn't have, but I had to. I was like, I gotta do this. This looks like it's way cool, right? So I did try building my own. I bought my own bike, and I bought a conversion kit. So you can go buy a conversion kit for like $165 or something, right? And there for a little while, everything I did cost like $200. It's crazy. I got a bunch of different things. Everything cost $200. It's crazy. But this is one of those things. And so I got a bike, it was like $150. I got the conversion kit, it was like $150. And then I had the biggest problem I had is everything worked fine. And I did a lot of research on this. But what I had is the version that is like the motorcycle. So it had a throttle response instead of like a handle thing. And it was great. I mean, it worked awesome, right? And I used it and everything. Everything worked just fine. The only problem is the battery, or the lack of battery, I guess you could say. What I had to do is I had to rig up a battery. So I bought a bunch of like go-kart batteries, that kind of thing, right? Or wheelchair batteries or whatever. And linked them all in tandem. So I had I bought, I think, 4 9-volt batteries, right? And then I had to link, and I won't get into everything. Basically, I had to have a conversion. Everything had to convert to, I think it was 36 volts. The one I got was 36 volts and 500 watts, which means it went pretty fast. Probably should have got lower wattage, because it just drains those batteries so quick. You can only use it for like 10 minutes, and it sucked, you know. So I was like, all right, you know, it just didn't work. And basically messing around with the batteries and having to recharge it and doing all this electricity and all this stuff just scared the hell out of me. And I just got to where I didn't like doing it. I could make it work. I made it work. It worked. Went really fast, and the whole nine. Is really heavy though. It was ridiculously heavy. And at the end of the day, it just wasn't worth it. I wish I had paid, you know, $500 more and got something that, you know, would have worked. It was fun to build. It was fun to do, but it just wasn't enough. You know, I think, and I still think you know, once I can get some money together, you know, farther on down the line, I'll probably try to get a real electric bike, because they're amazing. They're really fun. I mean, have you seen it? Go check out electric bikes, man. Seriously, go check them out. You'll see what I'm talking about. They're amazing. All right, so for the second one, okay, I had to go get this. I haven't had it on the whole time, but I had to go get it. All right, this is the Apple Watch. And specifically, this is the Series 3, the 38 millimeter. And this is number 2 on the list. And this is a cheap one, right? I got the cheapest that I could get. And I got the cheapest model. It's like $170, I think. I got a little plastic thing that goes with it. It is amazing. This thing is amazing. I actually got mine for a reason, though, right? And it is number 2 on my list for a reason. Because it is amazing, and it's gadget and it's techy and all that stuff. And you know, I'm cool when I wear it. I mean, I'm cool anyway, but when I wear it, I'm like super cool. But I don't need to wear it just to be cool. But anyway, it is fun. It's a cool little gadget. It's fun, and it does all kinds of stuff. But I got mine for a reason. I got mine to monitor my heart rate when I run. So I started running recently, a couple weeks ago. And things weren't just not clicking. I wasn't doing very well. I felt like really lightheaded and these kind of things. So I got this actually to monitor my heart rate and do all the other stuff that it does. And I'm so glad I did. It has changed how I run so much, and actually just made it really enjoyable. You know, it told me my heart rate. So now that I run within heart rate zones instead of running time or distance. So now I run, my heart rate I think is like 180 something, 185, 190, something like that. And because of that, I have figured out, so I'll run until my heart rate gets too high and then I'll stop. And the more that I do that, the more I'm capable of running. I don't get dizzy, I don't get lightheaded. I'm getting enough oxygen in my brain and the rest of my body, and my runs just feel so much better. Actually, today's not a running day, but tomorrow is, and I can't wait. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But it also does so many other things. It really does. It does phone calls, which I've used it for already. It does text messages, which are interesting. You have to, especially this size, it's not really as easy to type with. You either type with your phone or you're going to be talking for it to take, but it really from what I've seen so far, it hears everything that you're doing and it gets it right off the bat. It has a compass, has a map, it has all kinds of stuff. One cool thing which is kind of cool, but like kind of necessary at the same time, is it's water resistant. Okay, so it's not waterproof, but it's water resistant. And meaning, when I say water resistant and waterproof is I can go diving with it. I can go to like, you know, I don't know, 50 feet down or whatever I want to do, right? It won't do that. It'll be crushed and be done. But it is water resistant, meaning you can go swimming with it, or you can, you know, take a shower with it, or whatever you want to do. So when you go swimming, you can actually track your stats of when you go swimming, what your heart rate is and how far you swam, all these kind of things. And when you get done, check this out. When you get done, you tap the screen, right? And there's a little roller knob deal right here, right? And you scroll that knob and it ejects water out of the rest of the watch. That's crazy. Go check this out. Maybe I'll find a link or something and show you in the description, because it is really cool. I saw the slow-mo guys do this thing in slow-mo. It was amazing. You got to check it out. So yeah, actually, yeah, I'll put the video in. You can see it right behind me. The slow-mo guys. And yeah, you're good to go, man. It is a crazy, amazing thing. Now that's pretty cool. But number one, by far, is way more cooler. And number one is this bad boy right here. It's really heavy though, so I don't know if I'm gonna hold it for the whole rest of this. But yeah, it is. This is it. It's the electric skateboard, the WowGo pennyboard. That's what this bad boy is, and it is absolutely amazeballs. Let me set it down here, and it's a little heavy. Don't get me wrong. But amazing, and it is definitely number one for me. It's actually the best purchase I have made in years until I crash, right? And then I'm gonna say, oh, I can't believe I got that thing. But yeah, and it scares the hell out of me. I ain't gonna lie to you, but this thing is like, it's like surfing on land. So there's no kick push, it's just go. So it comes with a little remote control, like a remote control car. Really easy to use. Just use your little thumb, right? It has 3 speeds. You have easy, medium speed, and wow does it go speed. And I think that's why they called the name is WowGo, because it goes. And what we're talking about is like 23 miles an hour goes. And I've been clocked actually going 23 miles an hour. And it scares the hell out of me. Yeah, so I'm hoping, I don't know if I have for sure, I don't know if I have enough time. I'm gonna try, okay? But you should be seeing some videos behind me right now of me on this thing, and it is amazing. It goes so fast, and I love this thing. It's so amazing. It has a charge that lasts up to 15 miles an hour. Or, no. It has a charge that lasts up to 15 miles. Okay? So I can go 7.5 miles in a radius and come back on just this thing. Now, yeah, I'll get to some drawbacks here in a minute. But it's built really strong, built to last. Plus it has a kicktail. So I made sure to get a kicktail on this thing. Just because, for that reason, just so I could maneuver it a little bit easier and kick it up and get it up to me a lot faster. But it's really great for going around town or to zip over to the store. So here's some drawbacks to it though. So it is heavy. It's about 15 pounds, right? So when you go into the store, you kind of don't want to carry it. I have, but you probably would want to put it in a cart so you don't have to carry it around. It does go fast, and it will scare the hell out of you, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it will scare you. But the cool thing is you can learn on it, so it has those 3 speeds, so it won't go as fast. But yeah, it's pretty heavy, and also along being heavy, it has a pretty heavy price tag. So again, in order to get into this realm of things, you're looking at least $500. I got mine for around $500. But it has been a great investment. I've had this thing for almost a year, I think, around there, maybe 6 months or 8 months. I think 8 months. And I use it as much as I possibly can. Now that I'm running, I don't use it as much because I'll just run to the store. I'll try to run to the store. I can't quite run to the store yet, but I'm trying. But yeah, I mean, this thing, definitely one of the best investments I've done in a long time. And I would, if I had the choice to buy this thing, I would do it again and again and again and again and again. It's amazing. And you know, I have no affiliation with this or anybody else, but I'm telling you right now, go get a electric skateboard. And you know, here's the thing, when I got into electric skateboards, I got into one that was it's pretty cheap. It was like $175. Again, like I said, everything I was buying was like $200, like $150. But I got a little cheap one for like $175, I think, $150. And it was amazing. That was a game changer. That was so much fun. And it introduced me. And then once I figured out what I needed, I went and got this bad boy. But yeah, both of those things have been so much fun. If you don't have one, you should go get one. And especially if you're younger, you know, you need to get around town, or you want to go hang out at your friend's house, or you need to get to work real quick, or whatever the case may be, go check that out, man. I'm telling you right now. Electric skateboard is the way to go, especially if you're like between the ages of like 10 and 15 or 16 and maybe you don't have a car yet. Grab you one of these suckers and you'll be all over the place. You know, be careful, okay? All right, maybe get a cheaper one that doesn't go as fast until you can graduate to one of these bad boys. But yeah, totally worth it. So let me recap the top 10 list, and then I'm gonna go over my top 10 of my own podcast as a little bonus. So let's recap the top 10 go-go gadgets here. So 10 would be the quantum computer. Crazy. I still don't know if it works, but it's interesting. Number 9, Canon M50 Camera. Amazing, game changer. Grab you one if you can. Number 8, iPhone case/charger. Definitely worth it. If you don't have one, go get one. Yeah, especially if you do a lot of FaceTime calls, grab you one. Number 7 is mini projector, and I haven't tried that yet, but I'm thinking that's going to be a game changer when it comes to painting things. I think that's going to be fun. Number 6, Boss Loop Station, took my music to a whole nother level. And I'm telling you, if you play guitar, you play any kind of music, anywhere, doing anything, even if you're part of a band, if you're not part of a band, you want to join a band, you just picked up a guitar, go get you a Boss Loop Station. Amazing. Number 5, drones. Drones are crazy. I mean, you know, I was late to the party on that one, but I think everybody knows drones are amazing. I mean, they can do amazing stuff. I'm looking forward to getting a really cool drone. When I get into here in a couple months, I'm looking to step up my game when it comes to some things that I'm doing, some things I got in the works. Yeah, but drones, number 5. Number 4, electric surfboard. Right? Again, something I have not changed or tried, but I am with it. I'm cool with it. You want to hook me up an electric surfboard? I will test it out. Hopefully it doesn't have a short in it, and you know, so I don't die and all. But yeah, if you have a working, safe electric surfboard, I'm with it. Right? If you have a old, messed up one, then you know, don't tell me about it. I don't want to die or anything. But yeah, number 3, electric bike. And may I personally recommend. So here's the thing. I have an electric bike, but I don't have an electric bike. You know what I mean? So may I personally recommend, if you're balling on a budget, right, like I am, yeah, shit, you know, why not? Try to build your own electric bike. If you're handy, you can do it. It's cool. But I'm here to tell you right now, the battery, that's going to be your main problem, right? If you want an electric bike, you want a decent one, save up some money, get you a regular one, it's probably going to work out a little bit better. But if you want to check it out and see what the deal is, you can get the whole thing accomplished for like $200, right? So go for it. If you're handy. If you're not, Save up some money. Number 2, the Apple Watch. Awesome. Amazing. Come on. Awesome. Took my running to a whole nother level. Actually allowed me to run, I think is the best way to describe that. And number 1, numero uno, would be the electric skateboard. I call it the skatboard because it makes more sense. Because it will scare the scat out of you. Skateboard. It's awesome. It's awesome. Go get you one. Now, I probably should have said this before. Okay? I'm not getting paid by any of these people. Apple doesn't even know I exist. Wow Go has no clue who I am. All of these people, all of these things I've been talking about today, I'm not sponsored by anything or anyone. I like to be. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to be sponsored by somebody, but I'm not. Okay? So I don't have affiliate links. I don't have any of those things yet. You know, I'm working in that direction, but I don't have that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just hook you up with links so that you can go check it out. Just so that you can see the cool stuff I see. And, you know, if you didn't know about all this stuff, now you do. You know, you can go check this stuff out. You can go check out where to get one of these bad boys. I got mine from Electric Skateboarding Co. You know, that's where I got mine from. You know, I'll show the links for all these things just so you can go check it out. Not so I'm getting paid and I'm here to sell you something. I'm just telling you these are my top favorite things that I have and are the things that I want, and I'd like you to see it as well. So I'll leave you some links in the description where you can go check it out. Again, I have no affiliation with anyone here, anything here. I just thought if you're interested, it might be easier if I left you a link in the description so you know exactly what I'm talking about. So hey there, podcast fam. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see that it's not my normal background. I'm just doing some editing, and I realized that I had not put in my own top 10 favorite of my own podcast. The reason I wanted to do this is because, first of all, I get a chance to kind of sum up each thing in case you haven't watched them. Also, I'm just proud of being able to have done 10 so far. I'm shooting for at least 100 right now, and who knows after that. So yeah, I'm just grateful to reach number 10, and I wanted to just kind of give my own top 10 of my own deal and be able to look back. I mean, it hasn't been that long, but it feels like somewhat of an accomplishment at some point. So yeah, I'm just gonna run through real quick each one and kind of give like one reason or whatever for, you know, what position it's in. If you're listening to this on the regular podcast, this is at the end of the show. If you listen to on Spotify or Pocket Cast, all these different places you can listen to this podcast, I appreciate it. If you'd like to, you can go to YouTube and just watch this whenever you feel like. There's a link in the description. You can go check that out. You know, it'd be fun if you did. So let's just jump right into it. So we'll start with number 10 and work our way down. So number 10 would be episode number 2, which would be the doctor story, the fitness track, vitamins and supplements. You know, it's not. I don't think it's a bad episode. It's just it brings up bad memories for me, and I really wish I had handled that situation a little bit differently. So. Yeah, I think there's some good information in there. I'm so glad to be on the fitness track that I'm on and to be able to start running, and that's been great. Moving on to number 9 would be episode number 7, and that is called What a Weird World We Live In. And that was a great episode. It's just not my favorite. It was a fun episode to do. And it's true, we do live in a pretty weird world, so it just didn't make, you know, higher on the list. Moving on, number 8 is actually episode number 8, and episode number 8 was called Why 2020 is a Good Year. That was actually a fun one to do because I think a lot of people are kind of mad at 2020, like 2020 is like a horrible year, but I don't really look at it that way. It's been a great year of nostalgia for me. I think it's given the opportunity for families to come together. So, you know, go check that episode out. I think it was pretty good. It just didn't rank higher than 8 for me. Moving on to number 7 is actually episode number 6, which is called "Oh to Grow Up in California." I've often thought about that quite a bit, and in that episode I get a chance to kind of tell some stories, my parents' stories, kind of my own, start telling my own story of how I ended up moving out to California, and it took me 2 tries and the whole deal. That was a fun one to do, and it was fun to relive some of those stories as well. Moving on to number 6 would be episode number 5, beach versus mountains, and that was fun. I feel like I solved a conundrum, right? Would you rather live in the beach or the mountains? I feel like it always comes back to that. I don't think, if you are asking people, would you rather live, in the middle of the country or the coast? I think it's more just automatic that people ask that question. So I feel like I solved that conundrum, and I'd love to go on an island. Actually, I'd love to go to Fiji at some point. That's kind of my deal. I think that would be fun. Moving on to number 5 would be episode number 3. Actually, it's called Sports for Life. That was a good one because it brought back a lot of good memories, and it gave me a lot of motivation to really want to go out and recapture some of that old glory and recapture some of that fun that I used to have when I was like a tween. That was a lot of fun. I'd love to go snowboarding again. I'd love to try surfing again. I've been really getting into surfing, watching Jamie O'Brien and all these different surf people. I'm starting to feel the itch, but unfortunately, I'm just so busy right now, and I just can't get to that spot. But hopefully in the future, hopefully in the near future, it'd be great to go give that a try. So episode number 3, Sports for Life, was kind of motivation for me. That was a lot of fun, actually. Moving on to number 4 would be actually my first podcast. It's called Warriors Come Out to Play, and that was a fun one for me, just because I love talking about the Warriors. If you listen to this podcast long enough, you're definitely going to hear more about the Golden State Warriors, my favorite team, my favorite player on my favorite team, and Steph Curry. And yeah, that was a lot of fun to do. Plus, it was my first podcast. I was nervous. I'm still kind of nervous, but yeah, that was just fun to do, and it was fun to kind of jump into things with something that I'm really familiar with. So moving on to the top 3, starting with my third favorite episode out of the 10 I've done so far, would be a recent one, actually. Episode number 9, actually. I felt it's called Deconstruction of the Family Unit. I felt like that had a really deep message and some pretty good stats behind it. That really got into a lot of like television. It got into the idea of Andy Warhol and is life imitating art, or is art imitating life, and where are we at in society, and what are we pushing towards, what are we being led towards even, with a lot of the shows that we're seeing on Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and television and different networks and all these kind of things. I really felt like 9 really kind of hit the nail on the head, and I felt like I really kind of got some knowledge out there on that one as well. Actually, number 2 on my list, that would be episode number 4. Episode number 4 is video games versus Michael Jordan and Jimi Hendrix, and I really felt like that had the most stats. It had the most knowledge. I felt like it really got the point across, and for me, it gave me a sense of where I used to be and kind of where I'm going. So that's got to be my second favorite episode that I've done so far. Yeah, I really felt like I'd like to go a little deeper into that one as well. That was a lot of fun to do. The stats were mind-blowing for me, and it's interesting to see where I've been and where I'm going. So yeah, definitely number 2 for me easily. And my my favorite episode that I've done so far, which is a hard one. The top 3 of my own episodes were really hard to distinguish because I really tried to put out good quality content with good stats behind what I'm saying. And I felt like my number one didn't have as many stats as I wanted, but I felt like it had a really great rhythm to it. And so my favorite episode I've done so far is actually a really recent one. It's called We the People, and it's episode number 10. And I felt like it's my favorite first because I really think I tried to capture the human condition, kind of what we are all going through, and the fact that people are getting colder and meaner and just a lot more darker. And in episode 10, I got a chance to go through that darkness and get to a lighter, more uplifting message towards the end of that episode, and really ended that with a very positive note, I felt. And so I really enjoyed that episode, especially towards the end, where you can get that light, and you can see, the light in me, you can see the light in other people, and the fact that I need to see that in other people, and people need to see that in me. We need to see that in each other. And I felt like We the People, episode number 10 was willing to go through that darkness. Number 9, episode number 9, Deconstruction of the Family Unit, was pretty dark, and number 10 addressed that darkness in each individual, and then it brought us through to a much lighter path. So that's my top 10. If you haven't listened to some of these and you want to, go check them out. There's links in the description of this podcast. If you want to go check it out, you can go find it on Spotify and multiple different places. You can go check it out on YouTube, and you can see kind of my background. Actually, if you are watching this on YouTube, you can see both of these paintings I painted. You're going to be seeing a lot more of that here in a couple months. I'm not going to give anything away, but so you get to see some of this a little bit sooner than later. But if you get a chance, go check this out on YouTube. If not, thanks for listening, and we'll get right back into the regular schedule programming. Thanks. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe, and get ready for another episode coming up. New episodes every Sunday and Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern and 7 p.m. Pacific. Don't forget about TheJarredShow.com. Both podcasts in one place, plus merch and more. I hope you're doing well. I hope your life is going smoothly and you're striving to move forward. Thank you so much for listening and/or watching. And as always, and in all ways, may God bless you. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
The Jared Show.